Caitlin Clark was taken aback by Stephanie White's extensive knowledge during the Indiana Fever's matchup against the Connecticut Sun this season and is eager to witness how White's advanced scouting system will benefit the Fever. Indiana officially named White as its new head coach on Monday, after the termination of her predecessor Christy Sides in October. 27. White, 47, was a high school standout in Indiana and played for the Fever from 2000 to 2004. She subsequently served as the Fever's assistant coach under Lynn Dunn, playing a vital role in the franchise's WNBA championship victory in 2012, before assuming the position of head coach from 2015 to 2016. White enjoyed 2 successful years as the head coach of the Connecticut Sun, earning the WNBA Coach of the Year award in 2023. She led them to victory against the Clark-led Fever in Round 1 of the 2024 WNBA playoffs. White will now collaborate with 2024 Rookie of the Year Clark, recognized as one of the league's greatest talents, to create a formidable partnership for the upcoming 2025 season. Point guard Clark, along with teammates Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, posed with their new head coach at Monday's unveiling. The 22-year-old prodigy expressed her complete support for White by highlighting how effectively she had prepared Connecticut for their matches against Indiana earlier this year. Clark expressed her enthusiasm about playing under the new head coach, anticipating that she will utilize the same insights used to identify the Fever's weaknesses to benefit the team. Clark stated, "We know how much of a legend she is in Indiana. I find that really impressive," he continued, "but playing against her, I felt that her teams consistently had the most skilled scouts working against us. I believe this highlights her understanding of the game and her analytical skills, indicating that she clearly had valuable insights. Hopefully, now that she understands how to prevent us from succeeding, she will also be able to assist us in overcoming certain challenges as well." White expressed enthusiasm about collaborating with the 2 Rookies of the Year, Clark and Boston, stating, "You have the point guard in the center, the ideal bookends to build around." Stephanie White is regarded as Indiana basketball royalty, and this was evident during her introductory press conference as the head coach of the Indiana Fever on Monday. White recognized the journalists who had covered her previous roles as a player, 2004, assistant coach, 2011-14, and head coach, 2015-16, noting that they treated her with the reverence that reflects her status as one of the best coaches in the league, rather than mere respect typically afforded to established coaches. 2 decades after her retirement from playing, the emotional connection remains intact, highlighting why the Fever seized the opportunity to sign White. And why White cannot resist the allure of the Fever. The following statement reflects her attitude and work ethic. "I believe people have high expectations of me, but no one can expect more from me than I expect from myself. I pursue perfection and strive for it consistently." However, she didn't express these sentiments on Monday, rather, she shared them in 2000, when she was a 23-year-old who had just joined her home state team as the number 8th pick in the WNBA expansion draft. Expectations were high for the 1995 Indiana Miss Basketball and 1999 NCAA champion with Purdue upon her return to Indiana. The Fever's inaugural general manager and current president of basketball and business operations, Kelly Krauskopf, referenced that period during the press conference, stating, "My first player transaction was bringing her to Indiana when we were an expansion team years ago, and the player I traded for her was Sandy Brondello, who is now the head coach of this year's championship team." Upon graduating from college, White was recognized as an exceptional basketball strategist, playing as a 5'9" tenacious point guard. The legends surrounding her performance were comparable to those of Larry Bird, at least according to former Purdue head coach Carolyn Peck, who spoke highly of White upon her retirement in 2005 at the age of just 27. Her WNBA career did not match the pinnacle she achieved in high school, where she set scoring records, or in college, where she had remarkable 3-point scoring streaks, yet she remained beloved by the people in Indiana. Both for the memories and the fact that she belonged to them. "I have reached a stage in my career where making a decision for one reason or another is no longer sufficient. It must focus on professional opportunities. It must be about the personal opportunities and my desire to be closer to my family, some of whom are here today, including my nephew, whom I have only seen a few times, so it would be wonderful to see his adorable little face more frequently. It is important for me to be around my family more, especially for the sake of my children." For parents, the years spent with children cannot be reclaimed, this time is irrevocable. My family dedicated considerable time to my children, and it is now crucial for me to be closer to home and have them around more frequently. White returns to the Fever, facing a new team whose development has been expedited by the addition of Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. The coach likened their pairing to John Stockton and Karl Malone, while humorously noting that her players may be too young to grasp that reference. Stockton and Malone are undoubtedly one of the greatest playmaker big duos in NBA history, as they led the Utah Jazz to unprecedented success over the course of 18 seasons. Setting a high standard for Clark and Boston is ambitious, yet White expresses confidence in their capabilities, stating, "I believe that, first and foremost, they are both exceptionally competitive players. They possess a fire and mentality that cannot be taught, which is essential for competitive spirit and being excellent teammates." Observing their growth, not only as players but also in their ability to embrace the spotlight, lead, and enhance the performance of those around them is inspiring. Their mutual support will ensure that they are remembered as some of the greatest. I am excited about the opportunity to work with them. I am enthusiastic about the opportunity to build upon those initial points and establish a lasting presence for both in Indiana. Once again, White is returning to Indiana with high expectations. The spotlight shines brighter than ever, with the franchise, community, and state fully supporting her. The memories of a highly anticipated journey are cherished by all, including the biggest stars. However, in Caitlin Clark's case, there is one specific memory from her 2023 European tour that she would likely prefer to forget, despite the teasing from her friends. Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes' 2023 tour of Croatia and Italy garnered significant publicity. The team triumphed in all three of their friendly matches against Team Slammers, KK Trzenkivka 2009, and the Croatian All-Stars. Fortunately for the team, it was not solely focused on work. The players and coaching staff also appreciated the European tourist attractions. However, during a recent conversation among Clark, Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, and Jada Gyamfi, it was revealed that not all have pleasant memories of their experience at a specific restaurant. There, the Indiana Fever star confronted one of her greatest fears. Think about a generational player in Caitlin Clark. This was Stephanie White's praise for Clark's remarkable talents as she returned to her position as head coach of the Indiana Fever. White and Clark share a unique bond, having both worn the iconic number 22 for the franchise, White in the 2000s and now Clark in her rookie season. With Clark equally enthusiastic about White's arrival, the two appear ready for an exciting partnership. Clark has emphasized a key element from White's coaching playbook that she believes will significantly impact the Fever. Stephanie White held her first introductory press conference yesterday, where she also met with several Fever players, including Caitlin Clark. Following the conference, Clark expressed her optimism for the future under White's leadership, highlighting that her prior experience in preparing teams to combat fever would be invaluable for the team moving forward. "We recognize her legendary status in Indiana. I find that to be quite impressive. Playing against her, I felt that her teams consistently had the most effective scouts facing us. This highlights her understanding of the game and her analytical skills, indicating that she clearly had valuable insights. Hopefully, now that she knows how to stop us, that should also provide a good opportunity to learn how to help us overcome certain challenges," Clark stated. The Fever's negative 22 believes that Stephanie White's experience in coaching a team that has both faced and defeated the Fever makes her an ideal mentor for player development. Prior to joining the Hoosier State, White was with the Connecticut Sun, the same team that eliminated Clark's squad in the first round of the playoffs. The Sun also performed better during the regular season, finishing with a record of 3-1. Additionally, the newly appointed head coach has a strong connection to the Fever, having played for the franchise from 2000 to 2005 and subsequently serving as head coach from 2015 to 2016. While Clark is optimistic about the positive developments ahead, White shares equal enthusiasm for the journey awaiting the Fever. When they parted ways with Christy Sides, President of Basketball Operations Kelly Krauskopf highlighted the objective of maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana. Stephanie White appears prepared to pursue this goal, stating at her introductory press conference, "Consider the momentum moving forward, where we want this league to be, where we still aspire for it to go, and just embrace this moment, embrace this opportunity, continuing to help this team and this franchise better position ourselves for success." White emphasized the importance of utilizing Clark and Aaliyah Boston as a duo, noting their ranking among the top pick and roll partnerships in the WNBA last season. Observing their development not only as players but also as individuals basking in the spotlight, witnessing their leadership, their ability to elevate their teammates, and how they support each other, illustrates how they navigate the myriad challenges they face. "Achievements that are certainly earned in their positions," she remarked. The Indiana Fever are reworking their team in pursuit of a championship. They have secured their superstar in Caitlin Clark and have already appointed a new head coach while revamping their front office. Indiana acknowledges that they possess the league's most promising young talent and aims to maximize every moment of her prime. The architects of their previous successful campaign are returning to achieve new heights. Stephanie White returns as head coach after guiding the Fever to the WNBA Finals in 2015. She is enthusiastic about Clark and Aaliyah Boston creating a legendary partnership. Number 22 is already among the best players in the world, yet additional talent is necessary to mount a serious title challenge. White mentioned the team's big three during her introductory press conference, but Kelsey Mitchell is a free agent this offseason. Some speculated whether the new head coach was including Lexi Hull in the group, but they received clarification from Scott Agness. Agness promptly confirmed that Mitchell will join Boston and Clark as the third member of their big three. She is an unrestricted free agent, however, the Fever has the opportunity to designate her as a core player. This entails offering her the highest salary for the 2025 season. However, Indiana should not hesitate to retain the two-time All-Star. Mitchell made significant progress while playing alongside Clark. She emerged as one of the WNBA's top scorers and play finishers. Teams encountered challenges in determining effective strategies to defend against the Fever's standout players. This will only become more challenging with Stephanie White assuming control and making the calls. Indiana is not content with merely reassembling their big three. They aim to enhance their roster and pursue a championship in 2025. The team will have sufficient funds to acquire an additional max player and re-sign Mitchell. Fans heard the murmurs regarding Sato Sabally. Whether it is her or another prominent talent, Indiana aims to make a significant impact as soon as possible. White has reached the WNBA semifinals in 3 of her last 4 seasons as head coach. She is familiar with winning and has previously achieved it alongside Kelly Krauskopf in Indiana. Expect the duo to enhance their roster and be in an advantageous position playing alongside Caitlin Clark in 2025. The Indiana Fever are a team to monitor during the offseason. Who could be added to assist Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell? Stay tuned for more information. The Fever are determined to make a significant impact, so it should come as no surprise if they create a considerable presence. Indiana Fever's rising star, Caitlin Clark, has made it clear that she is not just a basketball prodigy but also a devoted Taylor Swift fan. The new head coach of the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, even likened Clark to Swift, referring to her as the Taylor Swift of women's basketball, a fitting designation for a player who attracts as much attention as the pop superstar. Although Clark was unable to attend a Swift concert during her WNBA season, it is probable that Swift's music was a consistent component of her pregame playlist. Now that her rookie season has concluded, Clark is taking the opportunity to experience Swift's music live by attending consecutive shows on the final U.S. Tour dates. Stop of the Eras Tour at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. During the first night, she delighted fans by exchanging friendship bracelets with concertgoers, enhancing the personal aspect of her concert experience. However, for the second night, Clark is focused on the stage and wishes to avoid any distractions. The Fever's social media team recently posted a highlight reel on their Instagram page, showcasing Clark's exceptional rookie moments. Clark herself commented first, playfully saying, "Busy at Eras Tour, thanks for the tag though." Clearly, Clark is not allowing her rising fame to detract from enjoying the concert experience to the fullest. For Clark, this weekend may be her last opportunity to see Swift live for some time, as her own career is set to take off with the start of her second WNBA season. With her dedication to the sport and a passion for Swift's music, Clark's time at the concert provides a unique opportunity to relax before returning to the court. While the excitement may tempt her to reflect on the highlights, Clark is currently focused on the stage. There is a noticeable excitement surrounding the Indiana Fever following the confirmation of Stephanie White, the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, as the team's new head coach. The Fever made a significant decision by terminating Christy Sides after she guided the team to their first playoff appearance in 8 years. At this juncture, it is evident that the organization is not content with mediocrity, particularly with cornerstone superstar Caitlin Clark aiming to build on her exceptional rookie season. White is regarded as the coach poised to lead this team to success, and the former Connecticut Sun head coach is embracing the pressure. In fact, White has already stated that she expects nothing short of a championship from Clark and the team. "It's competing for championships," White stated in a recent interview when asked about the next level for the Fever. "The expectation has always been to compete for championships, and I believe we now have the opportunity to do so again." White recognized that this transformation will not occur overnight and emphasized that significant improvements are still required on the roster before Indiana can emerge as a genuine championship contender. White, however, has complete confidence in Clark, whom she considers a generational talent. The 47-year-old coach also praised Aaliyah Boston, asserting that the two-time All-Star will go down in history as probably the best center that we've seen in our league. "When you think about building around those two, championships are the expectation," White declared. "You compete for championships year after year." Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark did not have a particularly remarkable debut in the WNBA All-Star game earlier this year. While the rookie sensation recorded a game-high 10 assists, Clark, the leading vote-getter among All-Stars this past season, was restricted to only 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting in 26 minutes of play. The Fever guard also failed to capitalize on all 7 of her attempts from beyond the arc. It seemed that Team USA had implemented a defensive strategy focused on Clark. It appeared that the national team preferred to be defeated by anyone other than the former Iowa superstar. Barika Gumbawale capitalized on the opportunity, setting a WNBA All-Star scoring record with 34 points and securing her second All-Star MVP title. A clip from the high-profile game has recently resurfaced and quickly gained significant attention online. In it, Clark is observed sharing a moment with Las Vegas Aces guard Kelsey Plum during the game. The fans have tried to decipher Clark's lips to ascertain her message to Plum, who was exerting full-court pressure on Clark during an inbound play at that moment. The above clip has garnered 2 million views as of this writing, with most fans believing that Clark was asking Plum, "Why are you pressing?" For context, the All-Star Game was an exhibition match featuring the top players in the WNBA. For Team USA, it served as a preparation game ahead of their journey to the Paris Olympics, where they ultimately secured the gold medal after winning the tournament. For her part, it seems that Clark was inquiring of Plum about her defensive tactics, considering that this was intended to be merely a pickup game. It is rare to observe players pressing full court during an all-star game, highlighting the deep respect Plum and the national team have for Clark's abilities. There is no evidence to suggest that Christy Sides had a strained relationship with Caitlin Clark or any of her former Indiana Fever players. It seems that the organization decided to terminate her employment due to the team's intention to appoint a leader more capable of guiding them to a championship. This does not imply, however, that there were no tense moments between the teams and her former players during her time as the head coach. Ultimately, this is the ideal framework for the relationship between coaches and players. A coach may not always agree with everything their players say or do, and the same applies to the players. In a recent interview on the Ringer WNBA show, Fever star Lexi Hull discussed a specific incident during practice in which Sides and Clark had the rest of the team dying. It seems Clark was displeased with the loud music Sides was playing and made her feelings about it quite clear. "There was one instance where Christy played loud music," Hull stated, "because we anticipated that the opposing arena would be noisy. She then played the loud music, and Caitlin exclaimed, 'Can someone turn it off? It's giving me a migraine.' Everyone looked around, confused, and Christy responded by asking, 'What did you say?' Clark then repeated Caitlin's statement. All of us were dying of laughter because if I had said that, or if anyone on our team had, and then been asked, "What did you say?" and had to repeat it, no one else would be repeating it. But she did. Ho mentioned that it was the funniest thing and that the players were all rolling on the ground laughing. That's now all water under the bridge for Indiana, which is currently in search of its next head coach.